Hello everybody, Anthony Gonzalez here with our first weekly update of the year. First off, Happy New Year. Hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas holiday and is enjoying the new year. So first week back in DC after the holiday season, and it was a busy week. First, we were able to be at the White House for the signing of our Battlefield Cross Bill, which was an unbelievable honor. You've heard me talk about the Battlefield Cross Bill before, but this was brought to my predecessor, Congressman Renacci, by Elton Boyer down in Worcester, to make sure that our battlefield crosses cannot be removed from our national cemeteries, which had happened accidentally, but it had happened. And so we got that bill signed into law, and that'll make sure that those crosses are there. And so really excited about that, and was an honor to be with President Trump to sign that. So that was outstanding. Secondly, obviously the news of the week was the strike in Iran. I personally believe that this was perfectly justified. Soleimani was the top terrorist in the world, directly responsible for over 600 soldiers' loss of lives, countless injuries, not to mention the death and destruction that he had perpetuated across the entire Middle East, destabilizing that region. The top lieutenant for their regime of terror. So I believe it was justified. I was in the intel briefing. The evidence was presented with respect to the eminence. It was pretty clear from my standpoint that they were escalating for months and building up to a final big attack, which we thwarted, and I think that's great. Secondly, I think there was a big concern that this would lead to war. I think the response that you saw from the Iranians suggests that they don't want a war either, and that makes perfect sense because they would lose that war. They cannot beat the United States in a war. They simply cannot. They don't have the firepower, they don't have the economy for it, they don't have the people for it. So we don't want a war at all, but they certainly don't. And so I think the strike was justified. I'm glad we did it, and I believe that this will ultimately lead to a better situation in the Middle East, which has obviously been a quagmire for decades. With that, thank you as always for sending me and allowing me to be your representative. Happy New Year.